Welcome back, guys, to Gran Turismo 3, and we are picking up where we left off last time out, and we are going to be handling the American Championship, I believe, and the other league here. So we're going to go grab the Escort again. This thing's been really fun to drive around with, and I've been pretty happy with it. I believe Stars and Stripes is where we're heading here. Yep, that's what we're handling next. Let's see what our permitted cars are. I mean, obviously it's the same group from the last round. I believe we will be starting to see some more high power stuff, so I am going to go see what we can do about upgrades for the Escort. Let's see, we do have some turbo options. We can get this thing up to about 500 horsepower. I think that is going to be a worthy spin here, and getting this thing some extra steam to, you know, bring it home. So it's on racing mediums already. I think that's a fairly good tire for this purpose, and I don't think we really have anything else we can add. I think that is about where this car will top out in terms of horsepower. Something you gotta admit is fast. I mean, all things considered. I mean, this thing is fairly lightweight. Let's see, how much does the Escort weigh? Weighs 1,230 kilograms, which I don't know what that is in American, and bald eagles and cheeseburgers, but I do know that is a fairly lightweight car. Is it obviously as light as like a Le Mans prototype? No, but it's a fairly lightweight car. So anyway, let's go see what this little Escort can do at the Stars and Stripes event. This will be the second Stars and Stripes event this car has participated in. We've got Seattle, Super Speedway, Laguna Seca, and then Seattle again. We're not going to make the money back on this. I'm not going to see your lie. That money we just spent on the turbo, we're not going to get back. But I do want to see what this thing can do, and this car could be extremely useful with that power in these events. So not the grid I expected. I totally was expecting the C5R to appear in this, and like the GT40 and stuff. Not exactly just the same old from the last time out. Alright, we are racing at Seattle. This is probably going to be easy now. I upgraded this whole thing with the expectations of this being a slaughterhouse, you know, like some of the fastest American built cars in the game. Not the Cobra and the Viper, two cars that make a ton of power, but weren't really the best handling things in the game. I expected full-on race cars, so. Well, you guys are just going to watch me just be Max Verstappen here for a minute. 2023 Max Verstappen, not quite as much 2024. So this is actually the first video that I've actually recorded since the rebrand. I talked about it in a community post, and depending on if there's been any videos I filmed after this one that went up before, or if I've streamed and talked about it at all, the reason for the rebrand, and like I said, I talked about this in a community post, but for those curious and wanted to hear me say it or didn't read the post, is because there's no point in keeping a Pokemon tie-in on the channel's name if Pokemon content isn't going to be on rotation anymore. I talked about it in the community post I made. Leaf Green was by far the least viewed video series I've ever posted on this channel. And I know that both, pretty much since GT2 Plus, ever since I ended off that series, the view count is just not there. There's not been any viewpoints anywhere. I've had a couple of videos pop up that were viewed, but nothing since GT2 Plus has gotten that view count. And I thought for sure with this game I'd start to see that trickle back up, but unfortunately not been the case at all. And Leaf Green was just a complete dumpster fire in terms of views. I think only 2 or 3 episodes in that entire series broke 30 views, which is just crazy. I mean, it was an 18-part series, but the majority of them were in the single-digit views. And, you know, at the end of the day, I've now realized that that kind of stuff is not what you guys want to see. You guys want to see, you know, we play racing games, which has always been what this channel's been about first and foremost. And, you know, message has been definitely received. So I just thought about it, and I was like, there's no point in calling the channel Turbocharged Mudkip anymore when the Mudkip part was meant to represent the Pokemon content that was, you know, before Leaf Green planned to appear on the channel, and after Leaf Green, you know, was originally supposed to become a staple. I was going to start doing, depending on if Leaf Green had gotten higher view counts, I would have, you know, made that a rotation, done Pokemon and Gran Turismo of some sort, or any other racing game I've played at the same time. It's just a traditional thing on the channel. But with Leaf Green's poor view count, I've definitely learned that you guys don't care for all that. You guys just want to see racing games. And that's fine. I'm more than happy with that because that just gives me more of an opportunity to play a Pokemon on my personal level and just enjoy it, similar to some other games. I've gotten into Subnautica recently. I know that's kind of a game that was popular for years ago and then exploded earlier earlier this year. I'm filming this in November 2024 for those who want a timeline. People are watching this later on. And obviously, that's not going to be a game I'm going to cover here for many reasons. One, because I know it wouldn't get views. But two, Subnautica, I only play in creative mode. I don't play it with the survival stuff on because I bought the game more to take advantage of the ocean exploration, as it's just, exploring things with no limits has always been the kind of games that I play if I'm not playing a racing game, or Pokemon for that matter. And with Pokemon, they've added a lot of that kind of stuff to make it more open world and explorative, I guess is the right term. Which is what makes me excited for Assetto Corsa Evo, because that's gonna have a full free roam map with sim racing physics. We're gonna cover that game a lot. Honestly, I feel like that's gonna be finally the game that will pull away my Gran Turismo bias when it comes to the modern titles of racing games. Obviously, it's not gonna overlap this game. It would take a miracle for a racing game of any sort to top this one in my mind. But anyway, that's that. That's why I rebranded the channel. We're just, like I said, the core content really isn't going to change aside from Pokemon disappearing from the rotation. It's not going to be something I'll cover anymore. And like I said, that is totally fine because that gives me an opportunity to play these games on my own and enjoy them on my own, and share that experience with my friends in private, and of course my soon-to-be wife, who likes watching me play Pokemon. So it's something I can do and enjoy these games, and don't have to worry about pushing out content on Pokemon that I just was too bored of the game to do. Leaf Green, unfortunately, is a game that bores me. Alright, here we go. Got that dealt with. Up to 50 grand now. That is race 1 completed here. I think we've got 5 races or 4 races. I can't remember which one, but this is definitely one we need to take care of. It's 4 races. This is definitely, part of the stuff we have to take care of for this challenge. So yeah. Alright, here we go. Race 2, Super Speedway. 6 laps here. I'm an American. This should be something I should be good at. Oval racing is kind of our thing here. Not my thing per se. I'm more of a road course guy. So you guys can probably tell. I've never posted oval racing content on here. And between iRacing and R Factor, it's just never been something that I've really cared to do. This is the stuff I like. Doing road course racing and stuff like that. Oval racing has never been my thing. This escort rolls out. My sister's dog is not happy about something. I don't know if y'all were able just to hear that dog barking in the background. She is not happy. I don't know what's going on, but she is not thrilled with something. Alright, rounding turn 4 here. We're going to wrap up our first lap. So it's not been quite as much of a blowout as I thought it would be. So, obviously in this race, the Cobra and the Viper are going to probably be able to pull this back in a little bit, just due to the fact that they make good power, and this is definitely the environment you don't want to have a lot of drag on. This isn't really a car I've given too much time of day as when I was younger. Obviously when I was a kid, I tried to experiment with as many cars as I could when I played this game. And the Escort was one of those cars that, I played with a little bit, but it was never a car that I built for fun and actually utilized in the playthrough. So this is the first for me here as well. Maybe at some point we'll 100% this game, after this challenge is over, and that'll be a live stream series we'll do. First and foremost, the next live playthrough I'm going to do, for one thing, I really need to finish Forza 4. That was a game I kind of neglected. But you guys really want to see Project A-Spec, and I'm waiting on version 2.0 to come out of that. So once that's out, I'll do GT2 A-Spec, because I know you guys would not mind me playing through GT2 again. Like I said, the original GT2 Plus playthrough I did last year was just absolutely popular, and you guys loved it. So, I'm not going to be opposed to playing through it a second time myself, because it is a good game. I mean, obviously, in my heart, this game is better than GT2, but at the same time, with all the added content, A-Spec, maybe it'll also be a good way to stick it to GT3 a little bit. Like I said, this game has always had my heart. I think if I had grown up a little bit earlier than I did, if I was born a little bit earlier than I did, and got to play GT2 during its prime, maybe I would like GT2 more than GT3. But, you know, this was the first GT game I ever played, so obviously it's going to have a lot of nostalgia surrounding it. Man, this thing does not want to hook up. It is understeering horribly here, but we'll make it work. It is a fun car. This genuinely is a really solid race car. Alright, entering turn 3 and 4. I'm hoping at some point I'll be able to take what I've learned in these games over the years. Obviously with my wheel, not necessarily the controller, which is what I've been using since I hurt my ankle. I hurt my ankle a few months ago, and I have not used controller in this series since. But, yeah. Hoping at some point I can go and take what I've learned and put it in practice with my actual car. Which for those who may not know, this is your first time watching me for some reason, I have a Mark 7 GTI that I built mostly for street stuff, but would like to get it on track at some point, but I do want to get a proper track ready car at some point. That will more than likely be stick shift, because my GTI is DSG. Anyway, that is race 2 here. We got 2 more races to go in this little challenge here. So, not too bad. Just got 2 more rounds to go here. I think it was Apricot Hill and then Seattle. I can't remember what our next one is. As long as it's not test course, we're good. Because I hate the test course races. They drive me nuts. Okay, it's Laguna Seca. I probably should have thought. Probably should have figured that. But this is where the Cobra sucks. Like, the AI in the Cobra cannot handle turn 1 at Laguna. I don't know what they did to it, but the AI is so stupid on this track with the Cobra. I think the traction control's still on this thing, but it's fine. Alright, we are racing at Laguna. I think this is one of the only American cars in the game that's all-wheel drive as well. Alright, we're just going to hang back. I want to watch the Cobra bottle this. Look, there it goes. It's sliding about. He didn't completely bottle it, but... Can't really see him. He's so much smaller than me. I was so convinced he was going to bottle at turn 1. It looks like it's me that's going to be bottling corners right now. Alright. To get my series pants on. There we go. The tail slide is for real on that Cobra. I do not trust this car to go flat out through that corner. Alright, coming up into the corkscrew, we're going to brake a little earlier than I normally would. Oh, there he went. Oh, he's gone. I just heard tires screaming behind me, and he slammed into the wall in the corkscrew. So that's going to give the Viper a pretty solid advantage there. I would not be surprised if the Cobra does not recover that. All right, heading to the final corner here at Laguna. This corner, as I've probably said many times in this series, but oftentimes I just forget how much I say it. Turn was the death of me as a kid. All right, heading to lap 2, we do have a pretty solid gap here. Well, just under 3.5 seconds. Now I'm going to go full tilt through here just because I don't want to give them a chance to reel me back in. Just imagine if this were happening in real life, these guys were walking in with Vipers and Cobras thinking they were the hot stuff. And they got smacked around by some dude in a Ford Escort. Granted, an all-wheel drive 500 horsepower Escort, but still effectively an Escort. This thing is actually relatively easy to drive, which I will give it major props for, because it is pretty solid. Going down this slip sweeper kind of deal. And almost a full second. Ran a little wide there. Alright, one more lap to go here. I think we probably gained a good bit more time off of that. That was some solid work there in that last lap. Let's see if we can keep it up going in here. Now this last lap here at Laguna. A lot of understeer. It's okay though. We're able to make it out. Gone up to 5 seconds in the gap to the Viper in second there. Curious to see where the Cobra winds up, because I would not be surprised if he put it in the wall again at the top of the corkscrew on lap 2. Almost could go flat out. We lost a lot of time there in the early section of the track. But we gain a lot of time because they, for some reason, don't know how to handle the corkscrew. That corner is killing me with this car. But that is a race win for us. Let's see where the Cobra wound up finishing. Alright. It finishing 5th. The Mustang got around it. How about that? I'm trying to keep some money saved because we are getting to the point where cars like the Vitz and the TT are going to have to be stuff to think about here. I mean, the Vitz probably won't be too expensive to build, honestly, but at the same time, it's got to be fairly fast for the Vitz race. I think that's probably the most brutal part of this whole challenge. It's going to be the Vitz race to get the Altezza. All right, 3 laps at Seattle to close this out. The reverse layout of Seattle. Alright, we are racing. Still nothing too crazy on the grid. I mean, the most crazy cars are these two. Would have really have liked to have seen, you know, some... Oh, oops. Ruined his race. Would have liked to have seen like a C5R really give this Escort some work, because I feel like that would have been a brutal matchup. Onto the back straight. Let's see what you can do. Wasn't really paying much attention, honestly. I zoned out for a second there. Hard on the brakes. Into this hairpin. I'm not sure how much of you guys actually know this. You used to be able to actually drive the streets that Seattle Circuit was based on, but I believe the part where the start and finish straight was recently replaced in Seattle and relocated, so you can't do it anymore, but you used to be able to back in the day. The Viper and the Cobra are dueling hard back there. What was like the aesthetic of Seattle Circuit? There's just something about it. Almost a 5-second gap to the Viper. It's a smack down, but nothing too minor, too major. ran a little too wide there in that corner. Ah. Struggling over here. Goodness. Alright, here we go. Final little hairpin. Put the power, try to put the power down as best I can. Let's see what we can get up to in the final lap here. Oh, way too hot. I knew that was about to happen. As soon as it started just letting go going into that corner, I was like, this thing's not about to make that turn. Goodness gracious, man. What is going on with me right now? Alright, back onto the back straight. They've definitely closed the door because apparently my talent has disappeared. This thing is understeering pretty heavily. Alright, heading down in the downhill section here. There we go, last little hairpin. Still don't want to hit the wall. This thing understeers pretty badly. But that is still a race win for us here. Escort's gone undefeated, guys. That's a pretty solid little car. I'm pretty happy with it. Alright. That was our last run here. Let's see what our prize car is going to be. We get a... Looks a little sporty. It's a Spoon S2000. Okay, this is not something necessarily I expected here. I expected an American car, not a Honda. I mean, it's not a bad car by any means. It's a really solid race car, but why would they give that away during an American race? Well, we might be able to make some use of that. Because I think, what do we still have to do? Is there, of course, there's no Roadster Cup. That's where that car would have been useful. I mean, we could use it for the NA sports race. Because, I mean, it's S2000. I mean, that's one of the best cars at the time for NA performance. We still have the MR stuff, the front-wheel drive stuff, the GTWC's here to handle, the Boxer stuff. So we're going to use the Shigino for that race. Still got plenty of stuff to handle here, to say the least. Goodness. Alright, so there is our S2000 we won here. Pretty solid little car, 271 horsepower. The torque figure is so messed up on PCSX2 for some reason. 1,050 kilograms, so it is lighter than the Escort, but I mean, that's kind of, I mean, I kind of figured that. And, yeah, we're pretty set. I'm trying to figure out what we can do next. I'm trying to maximize the races we can do with the cars I already have. Obviously, the front-wheel drive thing, we can bring the Beetle back out, the Cup car. MR, I think I have the NSX for that. And then, obviously, turbo stuff will be the Nismo 400R for sure. NA is where I'm kind of confused on what I'm going to use for that. Do I need a There's no limitations for the All Japan GT. That might be where the Vertigo comes out. And then obviously Altezza Cup will have to wait until later. So I can grab that. And we're saving the Mercedes stuff for dead last. Because obviously that's where the challenge will effectively end. Because there's no Mercedes to get. Alright. I think that about wraps up what we can get through right now. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I will see you guys next time. Have a great day.